Chapter 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the picture, there is an orange-red chakra coat dancing in the wind, golden hair with fox-like ears on the temples, and eyeshadow at the corners of the eyes connected to the ears. His eyes are indifferent, looking down at everyone like a god. The world of Fox Demon Little Matchmaker. What the hell, Fox? By Chua looked at the iconic fox ears and took a few mouthfuls of colorful lollipops in shock. Brother Taoist, this Uncle Fox is so handsome. Su on the side looked at Naruto and couldn't help but be stunned. When Bai Chua heard this, his eyes widened, and for a moment he felt as if his child bride was going to die. Little idiot, he is a fox. Yes, what's the problem? Oh, you are also a fox, la world of Dalmatia. Ali sat on her knees by the river, praying to the sky. I long for love, please give me a great real man. I hope it's the male fox in front of me. Suddenly, a figure fell from the horizon, but it's a monkey, Inuyasha world. Chibao, it would be great if you were so domineering again. Naruto world, inside Konoha village. Damn it. The 7th Hokage Uzumaki Naruto. But now there is clearly only the 4th Hokage. And I remember Uzumaki Naruto is the fox demon, right? He is the savior. What an international joke. Many people in Konoha village now hate Uzumaki Naruto, and it is impossible to believe that he can be the savior. Countless discussions continue to sound the majestic appearance in the video. If it is not said to be Uzumaki Naruto, they will not associate it at all. To him, Konoha's little heroes looked at Naruto, who was dancing in shock. Is this Crane-tail the future savior? If it weren't for the iconic blonde hair and 6 beards, even if they were beaten to death, they wouldn't believe that he was Naruto. Shikamaru, did you see Choji? I became Hokage, but I'm a bit old. Naruto shouted excitedly, and everyone in the venue stared at him. Naruto-kun, you are so awesome. Hinata looked at the excited Naruto, her cheeks were slightly red, and she was happy for him from the bottom of her heart. Jiraiya, who was out collecting materials, also stopped writing in his hand. Naruto, maybe he is the real son of prophecy. There was a huge turmoil in the entire ninja world, the Kingdom of Thunder. 7th Hokage, let me see how you become the savior. Hey, this coat looks like a chakra coat, but why is it different from us? Killaby looked at future Naruto's appearance and wondered what was going on. The scene turned, slightly sad music slowly played, and a child with yellow hair appeared on top of a huge rock statue, looking slightly lonely. Then he walked alone on the street, but people on both sides of the street looked at him with disgusted expressions. At this time, a ball came in front of him. Hey, it must be that little kid, so scared. Hey, don't play with him. God knows what he'll do to you. The young man just left in the disgusted eyes of people. When he returned home, he looked at the ceiling silently, with tears streaming from the corners of his eyes, but he stopped quickly. The next day, the strong young man came to the Colossus, smiled and shouted, no matter what I do, I am who I am. What a shame. The boy suddenly jumped off the stone statue. Was this the savior when he was a child? Why were people so hostile to him? Damn it, is it okay to jump from such a height? Newton, take care of yourself. Newton, what the hell? A huge 9-tailed fox suddenly appeared on the screen. If the fox moves its tail, landslides and tsunamis will occur, and the people will be in dire straits, so they gather ninjas to attack. We must hold on until the 4th Hokage arrives. The ninjas rushed forward one after another, but suffered numerous casualties. At this time, a huge toad fell from the sky. In the end, the Kyuubi was sealed in a newborn child. These people have gone too far, actually putting such a terrifying monster inside a newborn child. I finally understand why people have that expression. They all think of him as a fox monster, but they don't know anything about his birth. The boy grew up quickly and kept playing pranks until he was caught by Irika and returned to the classroom. Listen up, today is the retest of the art of change. The children had no choice but to transform. Next, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto walked out with his hands in his pockets. Variety. A beautiful girl with mist appears in the world. Irika suddenly showed a nosebleed and shouted, "Idiot." The next day, the graduation exam began. Naruto still failed to pass the clone technique. He sat alone on the swing, the dark trees and the sunshine opposite. In sharp contrast, at this time, Mizuki took advantage of the situation and told Naruto a secret, and Naruto stole the forbidden scroll. Only when Irika found Naruto did he realize that Mizuki had plotted against him, and at this time Mizuki attacked him from behind. "Naruto, give me the scroll." "Don't give him Naruto, that's a forbidden scroll, it's full of extremely dangerous ninjutsu." Naruto looked at them blankly, not knowing what to say. Mizuki looked at Naruto contemptuously and said sinisterly, "Naruto tells you a fact, 12 years ago, there was a rule in the village. Shut up. That is the only rule that cannot say that Naruto is a fox demon. You have been deceived by the villagers." Naruto fell into a sluggish state, constantly being stimulated by Mizuki's words, "Go to hell, Naruto." The huge shuriken flew towards Naruto quickly, and Naruto was so frightened that he couldn't move. At this critical moment a figure lay on Naruto, protecting him. Naruto looked at Irika who blocked the shuriken for him in horror, and said with a trembling voice, "For, why?" Irika looked at the scared Naruto and couldn't help but shed tears. "We are the same, it's really painful. Naruto, you must be very lonely, I'm sorry, Naruto, if I were more reliable, I wouldn't have put you through something like this." Naruto looked at the sincere Irika, as if something was stirred in his heart, and then quickly escaped from here. Seeing this, Mizuki quickly chased after him until he saw Naruto again. However, this time Naruto didn't listen to anything and slammed into him. Mizuki looked ferociously at Irika who had regained his true form before him, and roared, "Naruto is like me, as long as you have the ninjutsu on the scroll, you can do whatever you want." Irika retorted, "That guy Naruto is different, he is an excellent student that I recognize. He understands the pain in people's hearts. He is not a fox demon, he is Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha village." Naruto, who was hiding behind the tree, was already crying in pain. Mizuki didn't intend to say anything else to Irika. The moment he took action, an orange figure punched him away. "You are not allowed to attack Mr. Irika, I will kill you." Mizuki yelled disdainfully, "Don't be arrogant, I can easily handle a brat like you." Naruto's eyes were like a torch, he looked at Mizuki fiercely, raised his hand, and began to form seals. "Give it a try and I will give it back to you 1,000-fold. You should give it a try. Demon Fox. Shadow Clone Technique." The next moment, 1,000 clones appeared on the screen, and the scene was extremely shocking. Irika and Mizuki both looked dumbfounded. This is an advanced ninjutsu that can create an identical physical object. Mizuki looked at the crowd of Naruto around him in fear, and then he was punched and kicked. Irika looked at Naruto with relief and waved to him. "Naruto, come here, I have something for you." Naruto walked over doubtfully and closed his eyes. Is the teacher not feeling well yet? Yoxi, that's it. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, and the early morning sunlight reflected on Irika's face. Irika looked at Naruto with a smile and said softly, "Congratulations on your graduation." The forehead protector on Irika's head is now placed on Naruto's head, thanks to 2317 for the tip. Chapter 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the world of Naruto, in Konoha village, many villagers looked at Irika with complicated expressions. They didn't expect that he would be so considerate of Naruto. Woohoo, Irika-sensei. Naruto thought about what happened when he graduated, hugged Irika and cried loudly. If it hadn't been for Mr. Irika, he might have been killed by Mizuki now, and he might have become a rebel ninja in Konoha. Ha, Naruto, you are an outstanding student that I recognize, and I believe you will become the savior. Irika is convinced of this. Even if others don't believe in Naruto, he will believe in Naruto to save the world. Is there something wrong with this brat's chakra level? Some ninjas were dumbfounded when they saw the shadow clones in the video. Is this the amount of chakra a genin can possess? This is too scary. I'm afraid even a jounin is not so terrifying. Naruto successfully graduated and was assigned to Class 7 with Sasuke and Sakura. Kakashi looked at the three of them and asked, "What is your dream?" Naruto raised his forehead protector and said with a firm smile, "My dream is to become Hokage, and then let everyone in the village recognize my existence." The boy's dream is extremely firm. After that, they embarked on their first sea-level mission, to protect the bridge-building expert Dazna when he returned to the Kingdom of Waves. However, this mission was unusual and far from a sea-level mission. Here they met Momochi Zabuza from Kirikage village. This was also the first time they all encountered the cruelty of the ninja world. Naruto was trying to control his chakra when a mysterious man appeared and told Naruto, "In order to protect the important people, I will continue to become stronger." They met Zabuza again, and Naruto and the others faced Haku, who had the blood inheritance limit, and the two of them were suppressed from the beginning. In order to protect Naruto, Sasuke was pierced by a needle in the front, and blood dripped on Naruto's cheek. Seeing this, Naruto shouted angrily and guiltily, Why do you want to protect me?" Sasuke trembled all over and replied weakly, "Who knows, my body can't help but react. Obviously I hate you the most." Sasuke fell backwards, and Naruto quickly ran over and hugged him. Sasuke looked at the sky blocked by the mirror with distracted eyes, thinking of the cold Sharingan, and murmured, "I haven't defeated that man yet, I haven't hit my brother yet, how could I die like this?" Sasuke raised his right hand tremblingly. "You don't want to die." Naruto looked at Sasuke with his eyes closed, the anger in his heart had already reached the critical point, and he just hugged him and remained silent. The blue pupils reflected Sasuke's shadow, and a faint red appeared in the depths of the pupils. Stood up and said softly, In order to protect his important companions, he stood up and was a respectable opponent. Is it the first time to experience the death of a companion? This is the path of a ninja. Naruto slowly put Sasuke down and gritted his teeth. "Stop talking. Unforgivable." White smoke gradually appeared around Naruto, and the next moment red chakra wrapped around him, forming a whirlpool. The original damage was recovered in an instant, and a heart-stopping power emitted. Naruto raised his head suddenly, his original blue pupils were replaced by red, and the beards on both sides of his cheeks became clearer. This look was like the nine-tailed demon fox back then. "I'm going to kill you." I was shocked by this fluctuation. What a terrifying murderous aura, completely different from the previous one. Ah! Naruto rushed forward in an instant and threw several needles in a panic, but they were all bounced away by chakra. In that case, give this trick a try. All the mirrors reflected Bai's body, and countless iron needles pierced Naruto's body in an instant, but the next second, all the iron needles were bounced away. At this time, Naruto was so fast that he was not on the same level as Shiro. He was caught by Naruto after just one encounter. Red chakra covered Naruto's fist and slammed it into Shiro's face. Bai fell heavily to the ground, the mask on his face began to shatter, and he got up with difficulty. He looked at Naruto, remembered Zabuza's figure, and murmured, "Mr. Zabuza, I'm sorry, I'm really no match for this child." But when Naruto saw that it was Bai, he regained his senses and his fist did not fall in the end. Zabuza on the other side was also suppressed by Kakashi. When he was about to be penetrated by Raikiri, Shiro appeared in front of him and blocked Raikiri for him. Blood splashed on Zabuza's face. When Zabuza saw Haku being penetrated, he pretended to be calm, but the subsequent battle was full of flaws, and both arms were pierced by shurikens. At this time, Kato appeared and continued to insult Bai's body. Seeing this situation, Naruto rushed forward angrily, but was blocked by Kakashi. "Aren't you his companion? His body is treated like this, are you indifferent?" Zabuza said with a gloomy face, "Bai is dead." A fragment of Naruto's memories appeared on the screen. Shiro, wearing women's clothing, said softly to Naruto, "Only when people protect important people can they really become stronger." Naruto looked at Zabuza angrily, breathing heavily. "That guy really likes you. I like you very much. Are you really indifferent? Could it be possible to become as powerful as you? Will he really become that cold-blooded? That guy even lost his life for you. No dreams, it's really hard to die as a prop, it's too painful." Naruto's tears stained his clothes, feeling sorry for Haku who died for Zabuza. Zabuza trembled, tears streaming from his eyes, dripping down his cheeks on the ground. Kid, stop talking. Bai is not just for me, but for you. Also fight with determination. That I know, that guy is just too gentle. At last, it's great to play against you. Imp. Same as you said, ninjas are people too. It may not be completely possible to become a tool without emotions. There's no use in using Kuan, kid. In the final battle of Demon Zabuza, with a kunai in his mouth and a ferocious face, he rushed towards Cardo and others, killing Cardo. The people of Wave Country also came here and drove away Cardo's men. Kakashi gently picked up Zabuza and brought him to Haku's side. At this time, the sky also seemed to feel sad. It's snowing. It's actually snowing this season. Zabuza looked at Shiro who was sleeping peacefully. You are always by my side. At least, let me stay with you in the end. Zabuza relied on his will to raise his left arm, which had long since been wasted, and slowly leaned towards Shiro's cheek. If you can, I want to be with you. Go to the same place. The gentle sunshine accompanied by the white snowflakes fell on Bai's face. At this moment, she was like an angel. This guy was born in a place where it often snows. Yeah, what a boy as pure white as snow. Naruto and others buried Zabuza. Sakura asked Kakashi blankly. Kakashi-sensei, are ninjas who they say they are? Kakashi thought for a few seconds and said, the so-called ninja cannot pursue the reason for his existence. As a tool, Konoha is also like this, but there are also many people who are troubled by this, just like Zabuza and the boy. Naruto looked ahead, the dusk light fell on him. Yaxi, I've decided. I want to follow my own path of tolerance, take a path that I will never regret, and move forward courageously. Having a great time reading books on May Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The entire ninja world, within the Akatsuki organization. Is this the current Ninetales Jinchuriki? Nagato looked at the now weak Naruto. His positive attitude was so similar to Yahiko's, but he would not forget Yahiko's pain. Uzumaki Naruto, you are very similar to me before, but sooner or later you will understand the cruelty of reality. Uchiha Obito was in a trance. The current Naruto is too similar to him before. In a cave, Itachi saw the corners of Sasuke's eyes twitching wildly after being so seriously injured. Fortunately, nothing serious happened in the end. Somewhere in a laboratory, ghost lamp. When Suigetsu saw the location of the decapitating sword, he immediately rushed out and prepared to take it. Many ninjas knew that Zabuza had died not long ago, and the decapitating sword should still be there. For a moment, an undercurrent surged. In Konoha village, the ninjas looked at Naruto. Some people even reflected on what they said. Did they ever have such firm beliefs? Has Naruto been able to control the power of the Kyuubi? The third generation looked at Naruto, who regained consciousness in the video, with some surprise. Naruto, what you did just now so hot. Chujiba took a mouthful of potato chips and said, some people were afraid, and some people were really worried about him. They didn't expect that before the exam, they experienced such a dangerous thing. That was Kijin Zabuza. In the screen, Kakashi told Naruto and others to take the Chunin exam, and people from other villages gradually gathered in Konoha village. In the first exam, Naruto encountered a big problem in his life. As a poor student, doing the questions was even more uncomfortable than killing him. But fortunately, Naruto handed in the blank paper and got through without any danger. The world in peaceful times. Student A, teacher, is today's test testing our ability to collect intelligence? Teacher A, yes. What do you think the teacher wants to do now? Student B, put down the stick. Let's talk to you if you have something to say. The second exam began, and the mood was slightly soothing. As the people taking the exam continued to die, Naruto and the others met Orochimaru in disguise, and the grass ninja trio went through a bloody battle and finally successfully reached the finish line. Immediately following the third exam, Naruto defeated Ya. This Nima exam is too scary. This Naruto world is so dangerous. So many people will die in this exam. This Gaara is so strong. that look in his eyes made me panic. Come on, let's go to the bathroom and change some pants. What, you want to fencing? One Piece world. This exam is quite fierce. I didn't expect there to be so many strong people. It would be great if some of them could join the Navy. Warring States stood up. Seeing such a familiar scene of fisting and physical contact, he actually felt a sense of intimacy. Maybe this is the thought of the reckless man. After all, the previous Lelouch made many people doubt their IQ. Are the ninjutsu in Wano so strong? Sengoku asked, looking at Akainu aside. So far, no. Akainu shook his head. Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas, arrived and began to teach Naruto the art of channeling. During the training, he saw Orochimaru's seal, which caused Naruto's chakra chaos, and he was easily lifted. In desperate situation, Naruto successfully channeled Bunta Toad and got Bunta's approval. The selection day for the 8 qualified candidates has quietly arrived. The first round of the battle between Naruto and Neji has officially begun. In front of Neji, who is proficient in acupuncture techniques, Naruto's shadow clone technique is basically useless. Moreover, Neji has an absolutely defensive move like Bagua Zhang Kaitian. From the outside, Naruto's scarred ending seems to be doomed. Naruto's meridians all over his body were sealed by Neji, and he couldn't use his chakra. He stood up from the ground with difficulty. For a guy like you who talks about his fate and always escapes from reality, I won't lose to you. You don't know anything, don't try to teach me a lesson like you're so arrogant. Ningxi thought of the fate of the main family and the branch family, a fate that he could not resist. How can you understand a fate that people cannot resist since birth? Naruto gasped for breath, and a picture came to his mind. He is still a child in the picture, but the shadow behind him is a 9-tailed demon fox dancing in the wind. Countless people are standing in front of him, but no one is standing beside him. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, covering his chest where the pressure had been tapped up. I can understand this pain. Facing Neji with a smile. So what? Stop being pretentious and think you are the only one special in the world. Hinata suffered as much as you. As a member of the clan, she was not recognized, but she tried her best to change herself. Even though she was seriously injured by you, she still stood up. In fact, you are also desperately resisting fate, right? Naruto's words stimulated Neji, causing the murderous intention in his heart to gradually expand, but before he could take action, Naruto raised his hand and began to form seals. He remembered what Jiraiya said, that there was another power in his body, this guy. Neji saw through his eyes that a huge amount of chakra emerged from Naruto's body, and he was immediately shocked. His acupuncture point was obviously sealed by himself. Why is there still chakra? Gaara on the high platform showed a strange look for the first time. The chakra emitted by Naruto made the chakra in his body begin to agitate. The orange-red chakra turned into tails and wreaked havoc on the competition site, forming ripples. Everyone looked at this scene in horror. I'm going to fuck. Chakra entangled Naruto, and all the original wounds disappeared. It was the first time Ningxi saw such a strange scene, and he couldn't help but panic. The next second, Naruto disappeared in front of his eyes, at an extremely fast speed. Neji hurriedly used Kaiten, took out the remaining shuriken and threw it at Naruto, but now Naruto's speed was extremely fast, and he left in an instant. Looking at Naruto who looked calm, Neji gritted his teeth with hatred. I said you are very confident in close combat. Naruto grinned and rushed towards Neji. Every time he took a step, the ground shattered, and the terrifying power made Neji retreat continuously. Naruto's eyes were firm and he said as he ran, I don't know what you mean about the resentful fate of the Hyuga family. If you can't change, then let him be. After I became Hokage, I will help you change the fate of the Hinata family. The two chakras collided and exploded in an instant, causing dust to fly. When the dust dispersed, Neji crawled out of the soil, and Naruto beside him had fallen. Just when Neji thought it was over, the ground suddenly cracked, and a fist as big as a sandbag appeared on the ground, slamming into Neji's jaw. Neji fell heavily to the ground, unable to move. In that case, you can still use the shadow clone. Is this the ninjutsu you are good at? I was careless, Naruto gasped and said that I failed the school graduation exam 3 times because I was very unlucky and encountered ninjutsu, which I have never been good at. Clone jutsu has always been the ninjutsu I was least good at. So, don't keep saying boring things like you can't change your fate, that because you are different from me, not the crane tail. The examiner on the side smiled slightly, raised his right hand, and shouted, Winner, Uzumaki Naruto. Thanks to for reminding me of the update, and the monthly ticket is cold without alcohol. Enjoy reading every day during the Spring Festival, top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now, activity time, January 31st to February 15th. Chapter 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Inside Konoha village, the villagers looked at Ninji, who was knocked down in shock, and were a little lost. This is the genius boy of the Hyuga family. Isn't he even the opponent of the crane tail? But Naruto is pretty awesome, he did a great job. Under the influence of the video, some people's thoughts are gradually changing, at least they don't hate Naruto as much as before. Naruto, have you become so strong in such a short time? Chuji jumped up. He, Naruto and Shikamaru were originally 3 salted fishes, but now they were told that they had become so strong in a few months. Who dares to believe this? For a moment, the little strong men made up their minds that they could not be lazy again. Naruto, when you become stronger, we will duel again. Neji walked over slowly and looked at him calmly, thinking that he had let off steam during the battle with him. After all, Naruto was not joking about Mizuki's shadow clone before. Naruto's words in the video made him feel only hatred now. Neji had some strange emotions. Maybe he could change the Hinata family. Sasuke, who was standing on the tree, snorted coldly. He didn't expect that Naruto saved him in that battle. Damn it, how strong are you now? It's a pity that the scenes in the video skipped many other people's scenes, only the scenes from Naruto's perspective. Naruto-kun, thank you. Hinata, who was hiding aside, kept rubbing her little hands and burying her head in front of the murderer. Before the Xiaoqiang could say anything else, the screen turned again. This time Naruto faced Gaara, and at this time Gaara seemed to have entered a state of rage. Naruto was completely helpless before Gaara's overwhelming power. Naruto fights for his companions, but Gaara only fights for himself. At the same time, Naruto also learned about Gaara's past. He was considered a monster and was feared by everyone, and no one recognized him. Naruto overlapped his past with Gaara's past and sympathized with him very much. Naruto burst out with the belief that he would never lose to him, that even if there is a huge gap between them, he must move forward bravely to protect Sasuke and Sakura and protect his most important companions. Naruto formed a seal with his hands. This time he will try his best. Ah! Huge chakra surged out of Naruto's body and formed into a ball. I will definitely protect you. The art of multiple shadow clones. Bump! A huge number of shadow clones appeared all around, so densely packed that there was no end in sight. Temari, Sasuke, Gaara, and a dog looked at the scene in front of them in shock. From now on, it's Uzumaki Naruto's ninjutsu post. Shuriken from all directions. Gaara didn't know what to do for a moment, panicked and passively defended. Uzumaki Naruto. 2000 rounds. Even Gaara, who is said to be absolutely defensive, was beaten to a pulp by this attack. Shikaku's coat became so frightened that Gaara couldn't imagine why the guy whose legs were shaking when he saw him before became so powerful in such a short period of time. Naruto, when did you secretly learn my skills? Shaoli was dumbfounded when he saw the 2000 bombers. This trick seems to be his own. I don't know where to get the oil. In the picture, Gaara gets more and more angry as he thinks about it, unable to accept the fact that he is being pushed to the ground and hammered. How could I lose to a guy like you? Gaara roared. Something seemed to be awakening in his body. The next moment, a huge thick fog appeared in all directions, a huge figure appeared on the ground, and all of Naruto's shadow clones disappeared in an instant. That's Ichibi Shikaku. Sand began to wrap around the soles of Naruto's feet until the sand enveloped him. Gaara, who turned into a tail, shouted, That's the end. Sandstorm delivery. At this critical moment. Psychic art. The same huge white smoke emerged, and a huge red toad appeared. "Boss Toad, let's go together." "All right, imp. Let me show you what benevolence and righteousness mean." The boss toad took out a short sword from his side and held it in front of his chest. "Imp. Hold on tight." The toad boss exerted force on his legs and jumped dozens of meters high in an instant. He put his sword against Shikaku's joints and exerted force. Suddenly, Shikaku's arm was instantly chopped off and turned into a pile of sand. The dagger of the toad boss also came out and was stuck heavily on the ground. What a scary guy. It took all my strength to make the knife turn. It must be solved quickly, otherwise the terrain will change. Gaara turned around and looked at Naruto and Bunta excitedly. The next step is to show Shikaku's true power. The trick of pretending to sleep. Gaara gradually fell asleep and began to awaken Shikaku's consciousness in his body. "I can finally come out." Shikaku shouted excitedly, looked ahead, and raised his remaining hand. "When I came up, I found the person I wanted to kill." Wind escape, practicing blank bombs. Shikaku suddenly slapped his belly, and saw a huge ball-shaped air spurting out from his mouth. The old toad suddenly jumped into the air, his mouth twitching for a moment. Water escape, iron cannonball. The attacks of the two beasts collided together, forming a huge storm and hitting the ground. "Imp. You go wake up the psychic." "That how to do?" "Just give him a punch and that's it." The boss toad started to rush toward Shikaku, but because it was Toad Claw, he couldn't control Shikaku at all. "Imp. You come and perform the transformation spell, have claws and fangs." Well, I see." Naruto kept imagining animals with sharp teeth and claws, and the next moment he seemed to have a feeling in his heart. Transform. A nine-tailed demon fox flew out of the majestic thick fog. When Shikaku saw this familiar figure, the whole cat was stunned, and what followed was endless disgust. "Damn it, it's this stinky fox." The toad boss turned into nine tails and grabbed Shikaku suddenly. Naruto took this opportunity and jumped towards Gaara. "Wake up." Punched Gaara hard in the face. Gaara woke up soon after falling asleep. However, Shikaku's body did not fall. Gaara used sand to wrap around Naruto and looked at Naruto indifferently. "You will die by my hands." "Oops, Naruto, and I have run out of chakra." However, what he didn't know was that Naruto had another chakra. "Let me protect everyone." Red chakra entangled Naruto, raised his right fist, and instantly rushed towards Gaara. "Here I come, stupid raccoon. Go to hell." But before it hit Gaara, he was so close that he was entangled in sand and unable to move. Hateful. Naruto was very stubborn and slammed his head on Gaara's head. Boom. The two figures also fell on two trees with the impact. Soon they stabilized themselves, raised their fists and charged forward. However, Gaara, who rarely used physical skills, was naturally no match for Naruto and was knocked to the ground with a punch. "Where there are leaves flying, fire will burn." The light of the fire will illuminate the whole village. The two fell to the ground helplessly. Gaara couldn't move, but Naruto pressed his chin against the ground and kept moving towards Gaara. Gaara looked at Naruto, who was getting closer, with endless questions in his heart. Why is this guy so powerful? Naruto kept recalling the scenes from his childhood. The boy stood alone behind everyone. People kept describing him as a monster. The boy's cry went unheeded. Another boy appeared on the screen again. Also crying. People around him only have one name for him. That's the monster. The experiences of the two teenagers were very similar. They didn't know why people were so hostile to them. In the eyes of senior management, they are weapons. In the eyes of ordinary people, they are monsters. In the eyes of children, they are the alternative that adults often say. As Naruto gradually approached, Gaara panicked for the first time and felt scared for the first time. Don't come here." Naruto raised his head tremblingly, looked at Gaara with a distressed expression, and cried. It's painful to be alone, right? It's not ordinary pain, right? Naruto's tolerant and sad eyes made Gaara's heart tremble and his pupils dilated. "Do not know why. I can deeply understand how you feel. But I already have someone important. I won't let you hurt them. Even if I will kill you." Naruto's eyes are firm, and he is fearless even if he turns into Shura for the people he cherishes. Gaara asked tremblingly. Why? You can do this for others. Naruto thought of Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Iruka. Because they pulled me out of the hell of loneliness. Gaara raised his head, as if someone had said something to him. Love means wanting to dedicate yourself to the people you love around you. Loving and protective heart, emotion, is that why this guy is so strong? In the end, Gaara was taken away by Temari and Kankuro. Uzumaki Naruto, one day I will have it too. Temari, Kankuro, sorry. Naruto knew that Sakura was fine and fell asleep with a smile on his face. P.S. I only write some plots that have an important impact. Thanks to Violet Seageo for the reward, Black Silk praise for the monthly pass, summer 3-day promotion, top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, August 13th to August 15th. Chapter 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The picture appeared again. The third generation of Hokage died, and many ninjas died in the war. Jiraiya appeared at this time and took Naruto away to find Tsunade, who became the fifth generation Hokage. Naruto world, the people of Sunagakure and Konoha were silent. They watched the battle between Naruto and Gaara without the joy they had at the beginning. It can be said that what happened to those two children when they were young was caused by them. The nine-tailed demon fox that they had always hated actually came to protect them. For a moment, they had mixed emotions. Naruto did a great job. Jiraiya is on his way back to Konoha village. Seeing this battle, he has surpassed his contemporaries so much. It seems like we need to investigate how the old man died. People everywhere now know that the third generation died in the battle between Konoha and Sunagakure, and there was an uproar for a while. The senior management of Sunagakure were panicked and didn't know what to do. Lord Kazekage, what should we do next? Fonging was silent for a moment and said, send someone to negotiate with Konoha and tell Orochimaru that the operation will be temporarily stopped. Konoha's Ninetails Jinchuriki is so powerful that it can't even beat Gaara's. Different from their perspective, Gaara saw another layer. Uzumaki Naruto, you can go and meet me when you have time. A door in my heart seemed to open a little. In the Shinigami world, Ichigo looked at Naruto, who wanted to protect his companions and felt something in his heart. He also has people he wants to cherish and protect. The world of Inuyasha. Inuyasha held Kagome's hand tightly and said firmly, I will protect you. Kagome nodded shyly. This was the first time Inuyasha took such initiative. Platycodon Grandis behind a tree in the distance looked at them silently, then turned and left. One Piece world. These people look smaller than me, but they are so strong. I really want to fight with them. Luffy was very excited. He was very excited when he saw the flashy ninjutsu in Hokage. Sauron, your sword is much smaller than Toad's. You are so small. That when Zoro heard this, veins appeared on his head, and he punched Luffy on the head. The spell returned to the world. Silver Crazy Batch Beauty 5T5 looked at these ninjutsu in surprise, and began to gather spell power in his hands. Maybe, the magic power can also release ninjutsu like chakra. The screen continued to play what happened after Naruto met Tsunade, was easily defeated by a finger in the duel with Tsunade, and promised to learn the Rasengan within a week. At this time, Orochimaru approached Tsunade and asked for help in treating the arm that was sealed by the third Hokage. I seem to know whose hands the third generation died in. Damn it, why would Lord Orochimaru, one of the three ninjas, attack the third generation? Many ninjas in Konoha were furious. They didn't expect that their own Hokage would die at the hands of his own family. Soon, the three ninjas met, Tsunade, who was affected by blood phobia, Jiraiya, who was drugged and unable to do anything, and Orochimaru, a disabled person who was sealed by his hands. A fierce battle started. In order to protect Tsunade, Naruto stood up to fight Kabuto, but the gap in strength was obvious. Naruto was constantly knocked down, but he never really fell. Tsunade looked at Naruto, who kept standing up, gritted his teeth, and yelled, enough. Get out of the way. Run away. Naruto never gave way, unswervingly. According to the previous agreement, I will accept that unlucky necklace. Naruto grabbed Kabuto's kunai with his hands and said with a smile, that I will never die before I become Hokage. Naruto raised his left hand, and the shadow clone beside him was rubbing the balls crazily. After a while, a blue spherical chakra appeared in Naruto's hand. I'm going to fuck. Rasengan. The blue ball hit Kabuto's abdomen hard, and in an instant, the blue vortex swept through Kabuto's body and knocked him away. The moment Kabuto flew out, he quickly hit Naruto's chest with his hand. The power generated by the Rasengan caused a ravine to form dozens of meters in front of him. Kabuto hit the rock hard, and the powerful force made a huge depression in the rock. At this time, Kabuto was in a miserable state. His whole body was in tatters, his chest and abdomen were crushed, and he looked extremely miserable. At the same time, Naruto spit out a mouthful of blood, his vision gradually blurred, his body was shaky, and he fell heavily to the ground. Kabuto laughed loudly when he saw this. But before he could act arrogantly for 2 seconds, he was lying on the ground unable to get up. Tsunade quickly checked Naruto's injuries, placed her ears on Naruto's chest, and her pupils opened suddenly. The heartbeat is getting weaker and weaker. Tsunade put chakra on Naruto's chest and continued to heal. Kabuto raised his head tremblingly and said disdainfully, Naruto is hopeless. I cut off his heart meridian system. Even you, Tsunade roared, shut up. Gradually Naruto's breathing stopped, and Tsunade's pupils reflected the silhouettes of Dan and his brother. It's the same scene, she's just as helpless. Could it be that she still can't be saved this time? Hateful, hateful. A figure that terrified countless people slowly emerged from the seal on Naruto's abdomen. Kyubi said gloomily, Too dark, so dark, why is it getting darker? The huge pupils were gradually replaced by darkness, and just when the last bit of light was about to dissipate, drop after drop of water fell. What's wrong? Outside the seal, Tsunade's tears kept falling on Naruto's abdomen. Do not die, don't die. Tsunade kept shouting. At this moment, a hand was reflected in her eyes. The hand slowly reached towards her chest and grasped the necklace in her hand. Naruto opened his eyes slightly, smiled at the corner of his mouth, and said weakly, Bet, it's me. 1. Kabuto on the side shouted that it was impossible, absolutely impossible. Tsunade grabbed Naruto's fallen hand, with an extremely gentle look on her face, and murmured, Because Naruto is my dream. At last, I want to bet on you. Tsunade gently put the necklace on Naruto's neck. P.S. The pace below is fast, and there are recommendations. Flower brothers and sisters, please ask. Chapter 26. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto World. Tsunade, who was gambling, stared blankly at Naruto in the light screen, a little distracted. Are you betting your future on Naruto? If that's the case, that's pretty good. Tsunade-sama, do we want to go back to the village? Shizun knew that the third generation was about to burp, and wanted to ask Tsunade about her attitude. I won't reply for now. Tsunade shook her head and turned around to enter the casino. Many people in Konoha village looked at Tsunade and said that the fifth generation is so big, and the abyss will definitely lead them to the top. Sasuke watched Naruto become more and more strong. I can't help but become more and more anxious. Screen continues. The gap between Naruto and Sasuke grew bigger and bigger, and they started fighting on the rooftop of the hospital. When Sasuke saw Naruto punching a huge hole in the water tank, his mentality completely exploded. When the 4 sound ninjas arrived, Sasuke left with them in order to seek strength. Naruto and others received the order and rushed to chase Sasuke. On the road, his companions fought against powerful enemies one by one until Naruto chased Sasuke and came to the Valley of the End. Due to the anger in Naruto's heart, the 9-tailed chakra continued to leak out, and Sasuke was frequently suppressed. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who was like a monster in front of him, and asked, What on earth are you? Naruto replied with a fierce look on his face, Our friends. So I will never hand you over to a guy like Orochimaru. Naruto clenched his fist and swung forward to form an air cannon. Sasuke couldn't dodge and rolled his eyes at the sight. Then several punches landed on his chest. He jumped up, clenched his hands, and hit Sasuke on the head. The powerful force knocked Sasuke into the water in the blink of an eye. Gulu, bubbles kept coming out of the water. Sasuke jumped out of the water, but was quickly suppressed by Naruto and fell to the surface. Naruto roared and followed closely. Sasuke quickly formed seals with his hands, and a ball of air surged from his abdomen. Fire escape, magnificent fireball technique. Naruto roared angrily. A ball of air swelled in his stomach, and he instantly suppressed the fire release and smashed it into the water. The water splashed into huge waves. As soon as Sasuke came out of the water, Naruto kicked him into the rocks. Bastard, it's about time you woke up. Sasuke opened his eyes and said boredly, "You are really annoyed. How can you understand how I feel without a brother? You were alone from the beginning, what do you know about me?" Naruto looked at Sasuke lonely and whispered, "Maybe I really don't understand the love between parents and brothers. But when I'm with Iruka-sensei, I thought maybe this is what dad feels like, when with you, I thought maybe this is brotherly love." Sasuke lowered his eyes and asked with an extremely complicated expression, "Why Naruto, you would control me to this extent, because you are the bond that I finally established, that's why I came to stop you." Sasuke closed his eyes and said deeply, "It's too late, Naruto, it's too late." When he opened his eyes again, the original second Magatama Sharingan became a third Magatama Sharingan. Naruto looked at the determined Sasuke and didn't intend to hold back anymore. However, this time Sasuke's actions became completely different. Can see. Naruto's previous movements can now be clearly seen. The previous attacks were unable to resist at all, but now he can easily dodge them and continue to fight back. Sasuke easily dodged Naruto's flying fist and punched him into the water. Sasuke landed on the water. The originally calm water was filled with bubbles. The next second, dozens of shadow clones flew out quickly. And Sasuke's attacks were precise and ruthless, breaking Naruto's shadow clone with every blow. At this moment, Naruto grabbed Sasuke's feet, and the shadow clone formed a human whip and instantly threw him away, smashing him against the rock wall. Fire escape, dragon fire jutsu. Naruto's humanoid whip was instantly covered in flames, and the flames shot straight into the water. Naruto fell in front of Sasuke, obviously suffering a lot of damage from being hit in the front. Sasuke's eyes widened and he kept breathing heavily. "Sasuke, that's a lot, it's too late, too late." Sasuke picked up Naruto, jumped high in the air, and slammed Naruto into the rock. Naruto also fell into the water and briefly lost consciousness, and at the same time his inner world, Kyuubi, looked at the unconscious Naruto and said calmly, "You are weak, imp. Haha, you have to thank me." Clumps of red slime-like chakra in the water gradually enveloped Naruto's body. When Sasuke saw this, he looked over worriedly, and the next second, Naruto's sandbag-sized fist instantly hit Sasuke in the face. "Knock it away." Sasuke howled in pain. Nine-tailed chakra enveloped Naruto's whole body. At this moment, he looked like a small fox, with a ferocious face. What is that? Even if I see through Naruto's movements, the chakra is acting on its own, as if it is conscious. Sasuke then remembered Itachi's conversation with Jiraiya. "It seems like you have special powers." At this moment, Sasuke did not intend to retain chakra, and flames continued to spurt out in the air, but Naruto was too fast to catch it. High temperatures form water mist on the water. Originally, he wanted to keep his distance, but suddenly a red hand came flying towards him in the mist in front of him. Sasuke couldn't dodge and was grabbed and slammed under the stone statue Madara. Naruto rushed forward, but suddenly a huge hand blocked his face. "Bounce it to the stone statue between pillars." Sasuke, you saw a pair of wings growing out of Sasuke's back, a black cross between his eyebrows. His skin became darker, and his hair became much longer. By the way, this is called the Valley of the End. It's a really good stage. Are you right? That's a lot of fun. The final blow, Naruto raised his right hand, and the purple Rasengan quickly condensed. Sasuke raised his left hand, and the black Chidori quickly condensed. Rasengan. Chidori. The two rushed towards each other in tacit understanding. The Rasengan and Chidori collided, and the purple light quickly enveloped the two of them. Sasuke put away his claws and punched Naruto in the chest. Naruto scratched Sasuke's forehead with his claw. Eventually Naruto fell unconscious and the forehead protector on Sasuke's forehead fell to the ground. The sky was overcast and it started to rain. Raindrops fell on the two people. Due to the backlash, Sasuke vomited a mouthful of blood and knelt on the ground, looking at Naruto quietly. Then he dragged his tired body and left here, until Kakashi arrived, picked up Naruto, put his forehead protector in his hands, and left the Valley of the End. Reading books on May Day is a joy. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 27. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dragon Ball World. Goku, these guys ninjutsu looks so cool. Bulma exclaimed, with many little stars popping up in her eyes. Yeah, it would be great if I could learn it. Sun Wukong can only release waves so far. It would be great if chi can be used like this. World of Naruto. Sasuke was surrounded by everyone and kept asking questions. He didn't expect that he would go to Orochimaru in the future. That guy is extremely cruel. Sass, I won't let you go to Orochimaru's place. Naruto yelled, dragging Sasuke tightly, not paying attention to the way he was beaten in the video. You big idiot, stay away from me. Sasuke pushed Naruto away in disgust. Something seemed to be sprouting deep in his heart. Orochimaru, maybe he can make me stronger, but even if he knows the future, someone will stop him, but for power and revenge, Naruto in the video continues to grow up, and more people in the village identify with him. People who used to just call him Demon Fox are not as casual as before. Protect Konoha from Tsunagekyu's Jinchuriki and retrieve the 5th Hokage. Waiting for things, they have to agree with the existence of Uzumaki Naruto. Several years passed in the blink of an eye, and Naruto grew up and became more reliable. Gaara becomes the Kazekage. Facing many powerful enemies, an organization also keeps emerging in the video. Within the Akatsuki organization, Deidara jumped up. In the video, both of my arms are missing. This is too miserable. I have no arms for the leader. How about we catch one now, otherwise we won't be able to defeat him when we grow up. Deidara didn't talk about art this time. Let's discuss this later. Let's see how this video exposes us. Leader, I have shed blood, sweat and tears for the organization, woohoo. Uchiha Obito yelled, damn, this dog video misled me, please don't expose the Eye of the Moon plan. In the video, Naruto received the news that Jiraiya died in the battle from Toad Sage Fukasaku. The whole person is depressed, but with the encouragement of Shikamaru and others, he followed Fukasaku to Mount Myoki and began to learn Senjutsu. Jiraiya, I'm gone. Damn it, how come I'm gone? Tsunade, you idiot, he went deep alone, why would I allow him to go deep into the enemy camp alone? Orochimaru, Jiraiya, are you gone too? Outside Konoha village, Pain's 6 paths have already assembled. From now on, let the world feel pain. As soon as he finished speaking, the beast appeared in the sky above Konoha. An intruder. However, Zhu Xingdao formed a seal with his hands, psychic technique, and the remaining 5 Pain appeared instantly. The leader Tiandao said lightly, disperse. Suddenly, the entire Konoha began to be in turmoil, and there were flames of war everywhere. Where is Kyubi? Pen 6 Paths kept asking the ninjas of Konoha to have no idea. There are no ninjas who betray their companions in Konoha. Even in the face of death threats, the Konoha ninja did not provide information about Naruto. After all, they really don't know. Immediately afterwards, Kakashi died in battle. Tiandao came to Konoha Hokage's office building and looked down at Tsunade and others. Tsunade looked at the person in front of him and seemed familiar. Then he thought of something and said in shock, you are one of the 3 brats that Jiraiya protected back then. However, Pain did not respond to her, and just asked lightly, where is Naruto Uzumaki? Now only the 8 tails and the 9 tails have not been captured. Now that the balance of power in all villages has been broken, it is useless to protect him no matter how hard he is protected. Oh my god, what this guy said. There are only 8 and 9 tails left, so the other tailed beasts, this Akatsuki organization is so scary, what on earth are they going to do? The people in the Naruto world were shocked to learn about these tailed beasts. This passage has revealed too much. What on earth do they want to do in capturing the tailed beasts? This is Yahiko. Why is Nagato's reincarnation eye on him and other people's reincarnation eyes? This is how the same thing. Jiraiya looked at Yahiko in confusion as he continued to destroy Konoha. He had learned the news that they were dead a long time ago. People in various worlds came to their senses for a while. Yes, this is the Savior's inventory. Could it be that the disasters of this world are beginning to surface? In the picture, Tiandao learned that Naruto was at Miamu Mountain and planned to leave. Before leaving, he said slowly, that is the chakra under your feet to protect you from my technique? But in the face of overwhelming power, Everything is useless. War is accompanied by death and pain on both sides. Tiandao slowly rose into the sky, looked down at Tsunade and others, and said calmly, How many floors does a bag of rice have to carry? A bag of rice carries the second floor. How tiring is a bag of rice? Let me wash a bag of rice. There is mud in the mouth. Who gave you a bag of rice? Spicy Tiansen. Huge shock waves began to spread from the feet of Tendo Pain, and Konoha was leveled to the ground in an instant. This horrific scene shocked everyone in the video. Although the first Natsu's combat power was off the charts, it was far from the shock of destroying a city like this. Is this still a ninja? When Sakura saw Konoha that was destroyed into ruins, she was so desperate that tears kept pouring out. That's a lot, come back soon, that's a lot. Following Sakura's heartrending cry of despair, a channeling technique sounded in the center. Boom! The white mist dissipated, and it was Naruto with Toad F3, an old man and a young man, who appeared in front of everyone. At this time, Naruto's eyes had light yellow eyeshadow, and his eyes had turned into toad makeup. He had a certain aura about him, and he was carrying a large scroll behind his back. Tsunade stood up from the ruins with difficulty, looking at the destroyed Konoha, with endless anger in her heart. As the fifth Hokage, I will never allow you to wantonly destroy everything created by your ancestors. Tiandao Pain looked at her contemptuously, not taking her seriously at all. It seems that you understand some pain, but I am not looking for you. Shuradao rushed forward instantly, preparing to kill Tsunade. At this time, a figure fell from the sky. The speed was extremely fast, and the Rasengan hit the Shuradao instantly. It's me. For a moment, Tsunade saw the figures of Jiraiya and the fourth Hokage. The final battle between Naruto and Pain is coming. Reading books on May Day is a joy. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto looked at Pain angrily. This guy actually destroyed Konoha like this. Let's make a decision. Naruto rushed forward in an instant and kept attacking the hungry ghost path, but every move was seen through. Even attacks from blind spots were dodged. Naruto-kun, Pain's vision is public, so it's impossible not to deceive everyone. The slug kept telling information about Pain on Naruto's shoulder, then give them an attack they can't see. Naruto grinned. Now he is extremely confident. Hungry Ghost Road and Naruto dodged each other's punch, but the next second Hungry Ghost Road seemed to be hit by something, and his cheeks deformed directly, falling to the ground and unable to get up again. Naruto's current strength, which has been fused with natural energy, can be described as terrifying. He obviously avoided it, but it was like this. Frog Kumite uses the surrounding natural energy to attack. The Sage mode has the ability to sense danger and improve the attack range. After defeating two Pains in a row, there was no trace of joy on Naruto's face. There's no time for dilly-dallying. Use new techniques to solve it. Shadow Clone Technique. Tiandao looked at Naruto's appearance, seemed to have thought of something, and said slowly, Suga, you have become a sage, with the same ninjutsu as Jiraiya-sensei. Naruto was stunned for a moment when he heard him calling Jiraiya teacher, thinking he heard it wrong. You say, Jiraiya, teacher. I also learned ninjutsu from Jiraiya. To you, I am your senior brother. Jiraiya hopes for peace. Naruto no longer wanted to hear his words and shouted, What a joke. The wind release Rasengan in his hand was raised in the air, making an extremely harsh sound, and the surrounding air was flowing towards Naruto. What you are doing now, where is the peace? Seeing only one tree, not the forest, you just don't understand the meaning of peace. Just surrender and capture him. Go and die. Naruto listened to his words and couldn't bear it anymore. He asked him to die at every turn. Who could withstand it? Didn't I tell you to stop joking? Wind release Spiral Shuriken. The rapidly rotating Spiral Shuriken flew out instantly, at extremely fast speeds. He actually threw that high density and high rotation thing out. When Tiandao Pain saw that something was not going well, he did not forcefully respond. At this time, Tiandao Chakra had not yet recovered. But the speed of the wind-release spiral shuriken was so fast that one of pain was involved in it and instantly became two halves. The Senjutsu chakra in Naruto's body is about to bottom out. One more must be solved before the Senjutsu chakra is used up. Fukasaku Sennin seemed to know what Naruto was thinking, and his small body instantly threw the toad boss out. Beast Do Pain suddenly appeared in the darkness. Being attacked constantly and seemingly unable to fight back. Where? Pain kept looking for others. Where was the big guy who was here just now? Spiral Lianwan. In the darkness, the two balls in Naruto's hand instantly hit the Beast Do Pain on the back. The originally dry mouth of the toad boss suddenly swelled up, and a wisp of white eyes floated out of the mouth. The boss looked calmly at Pain below. It's actually in the mouth. The boss vomited out Naruto and the Beast Dopian. At this time, Naruto's Senjutsu chakra has been exhausted. But he thought of a clever trick, using a shadow clone to replace the spare. Soon the magic was restored and he continued to kill Pain except for Tiandao. However, the moment Pain, the strongest, recovered his chakra, he knocked Naruto to the ground and inserted several black rods into him to seal the action. Only with strong power that makes people feel the pain can we usher in true peace. This is my wish. Naruto can't move now, as if everything has been settled. Naruto world, an oppressive atmosphere permeated the entire ninja world, and the strength Pain showed had already frightened everyone. As powerful as Konoha, it was destroyed in an instant. If it were any other small country, even a big country would not be able to resist. How the hell is this playing? The people of Konoha village now subtly hope that Naruto can win, and now he is the only one in the village who can stop Pain. Land of Earth. Old man, I heard that you took advantage of Shao. The long-legged Kuratsuchi standing next to Inoki whispered, is this old man so powerful? Even Shao has used it. Inoki's mouth twitched and said calmly, that's natural. At this time, the scene suddenly changed and came to a little girl. Hinata wants to be as strong as her father and as gentle as her mother. But the girl continued to suffer setbacks. Even her younger sister couldn't beat her. When she was bullied by others, a yellow-haired boy appeared in front of her and protected her. The next moment, when Naruto was about to be captured, Hinata rushed over, standing in front of Naruto. I won't let you do anything to Naruto again. Naruto was surprised that Hinata actually came over, but when he thought about how she was Pain's opponent, he said anxiously, what are you doing here? You are no match for him. Hinata did not flinch and said firmly, this is my own decision. Naruto was extremely anxious. Hinata was no match for him at all, and said hurriedly, what are you talking about? You can't come to such a dangerous place. I came here out of my own consciousness, and this time I want to help Naruto. Just know how to cry, give up from the beginning. I almost went astray several times. This kind of me, it was Naruto who brought me back to the right path, that I always wanted to walk side by side with Naruto, always want to be by Naruto's side, that it was Naruto who changed me, that it was Naruto's smile that saved me. If it's to protect Naruto, I'm not even afraid of death. The girl's expression gradually softened, and she said with a smile, because I like Naruto the most. The girl confessed affectionately, showing no fear when facing Pain, and rushed towards Pain without hesitation. However, the difference in strength was too great. After Hinata destroyed several black rods, her whole body was covered in bruises, until Pain threw Hinata high in the air, hit the ground hard, and thrust hard. Blood flowed from the cracks in the stone. When Naruto saw this scene, his pupils instantly dilated, and the hatred in his heart burst out. Boom! The dark red chakra pillar soaring into the sky exudes endless dark aura. Kyubi went completely berserk. 3 days summer promotion, top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, August 13th to August 15th. Chapter 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The world of Fox Demon Little Matchmaker. Damn it, this is a real fox. At the beginning of Bayu's life, he felt paralyzed when he saw the rampaging Nine Tails. From the video, he could feel the chilling and dark atmosphere. I'm afraid even the big boss may not be so vicious. Inuyasha world. Chibao, look at how domineering the other foxes are. Master Maitreya whispered, Chibao, isn't it a cute style? It has the domineering look of a hammer, cute king slime world. This girl is so infatuated. Zhu Lai was deeply touched when he saw the girl's unhesitating belief. The most touching thing was the world of Naruto. Hinata, you can actually do this, what do you think about Naruto? Sakura looked at the crown princess with a complicated expression. She would only ask for help blindly, but Hinata would risk her own life for Naruto. However, at this time, Naruto obviously didn't understand the meaning of true love. He ran out and stared at her closely. Hinata, I like you too. Hinata lowered her head shyly, not daring to look at him, and fainted as she looked at Naruto getting closer and closer. The Hyuga family yelled, damn, the eldest lady was abducted by that guy. As an old father, I am so worried that the caring little cotton-padded jacket should be taken care of without any worries, but more than anything, he was angry. Damn it, Pain actually dealt such a heavy hand. I wonder what will happen to Hinata next. In the picture, Naruto started to go berserk, and Pain was in a passive defensive state. It seems that I can only use that trick. Tiandao Pain is hiding in the shadows, clasping his hands. Earth explodes and stars explode. A piece of black material slowly rose into the air until it reached a certain height. It instantly produced a huge suction force and continued to fly upward from the ground. The nine-tailed Naruto was also trapped in it. However, in the next second, a skinless fox head and 9 tails were poked out of the earth explosion star. The 9 tails spouted flames and landed on the ground with the rocks. This moment was like the end of the world. Deep in Naruto's heart, black water continued to flow from his abdomen, and his eyes became red. Come here, spread, tear off this seal. Yamato, who was rushing back, had 9 on his hand, as if everything was irreversible. Naruto was wrapped in water and lifted into the air. He came to the ceiling talisman and just tore off a small piece. A figure sitting in the sunset appears in the video. Stop Naruto. He gently helped Naruto up. When people in Konoha saw this figure, they knew it couldn't be more familiar. It was the 4th Hokage. Why is the 4th Hokage at Naruto's seal? Countless people have raised questions. The 4th Hokage looked at Naruto with a dull look on his face and smiled. I no longer want to see you, Kyuubi, but I am looking forward to my son when he grows up. Naruto didn't understand what the 4th Hokage said and asked him why he knew his name. Minato smiled softly and said, because I gave you your name and you are my son. Naruto's eyes widened in fear, but then the corners of his mouth rose, and tears flowed down uncontrollably. Gradually understand everything while talking to Minato. Finally, with the help of Minato, he was restored to his original state. Uzumaki Naruto is the son of the 4th Hokage, but why don't we know anything? Countless villagers were stunned when they saw this scene. What on earth did they do to the hero's son? And Naruto cried bitterly when he found out that his father was the 4th generation later. It turned out that he also had a father and was a hero of Konoha. In the end, Naruto defeated the last Tiandao Pain and came to the location of Nagato. A skinny red-haired young man appeared in front of everyone. After some verbal attacks from Naruto, Nagato completely gave up his life and used the art of reincarnation. The people who were killed in Konoha were gradually resurrected. Nagato, who had exhausted his life, weakly said to Naruto, war brings death, pain and suffering to both sides. There is nothing more painful than the death of someone you cherish, hatred that lasts forever, unsustainable pain. This is war. Naruto returned to the village under Xiaonan's farewell. At the entrance of the village, all the villagers stood waiting for his return. With shocking shouts and joy, they welcomed the hero of their Konoha village. Leader, you just gave up and ran over to kill yourself. The Deidara people were all dumbfounded. How could they be fooled into not knowing what was going on and what was going on with just a few words? They shouted that they would never confront Naruto again. I couldn't stand it. Shut up. Pen glanced at Deidara coldly, with a trace of confusion in his eyes. The entire ninja world did not expect that a teenage boy could be so strong. Is this the savior? Naruto's figure flashed quickly in the picture, and he met many people. The real person behind the Akatsuki organization emerged. Meeting Sasuke again, the two embarked on the road to perish together. The fourth ninja war has finally arrived. With the help of his mother, Naruto obtained the Nine Tails chakra and became Golden Naruto. He rushed to the battlefield to fight against White Zetsu and the people reincarnated by the Dirty Earth. On a battlefield, a ninja that terrified countless ninjas appeared in front of the world. Uchiha Madara is coming. The Ninja Alliance was defeated by just one person. Madara's sky-impairing earthquake star wiped out thousands of people in an instant. Its terrifying strength left no one with the ability to resist. Then the remaining three shadows arrived and formally entrusted Naruto with defeating the masked man on the other side. Naruto and Kurabi faced off against the masked man and the seven Jinchuriki, but the numerical advantage caused Naruto and the others to be suppressed. Fortunately, Kakashi and Guy arrived in time. P.S. I have written too much about Xian Ming, and I will end the Naruto chapter in a few chapters. After all, I can't finish the story of more than 700 episodes in just a few words. Thanks to Tian Xiao and 9510 for the monthly ticket, that I had a great time reading books on May Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. During the battle with the masked man, Naruto and Ninetales gradually opened their hearts, and the tailed beasts recognized Naruto one by one. When Kakashi and others were about to be hit by the tailed beast Jade of several tailed beasts, Naruto gradually opened the heart of Kyubi. Kyubi intends to help Naruto completely. And now you are no longer a demon fox, you are a partner of Konoha village and me, 9 llamas. The seal was completely lifted, and Naruto became the perfect Jinchuriki, transforming into a huge golden Ninetales. The nine-tailed Naruto was so powerful that even though several tailed beasts surrounded him, he was still pinned to the ground by the 9 llamas and hammered. It was like a father beating his son. In the ensuing battle, the identity of the masked man was gradually revealed. He turned out to be Obito Uchiha. In a cave somewhere in the Naruto world, Uchiha Obito could no longer remain calm, and roared, "Damn it, you fooled me with the dog video, that it was exposed like this." He had been hiding under a mask for so long, blaming Madara everywhere, and now it was known. For a moment, Pain, Kakashi's contemporaries, and everyone who knew Obito couldn't believe their eyes. The former warm-hearted boy who vowed to become Hokage has become the biggest villain. Madara suddenly flew into the picture. It was obvious that the 5 shadows were almost dead, and then the 10 tails was completely resurrected. The destructive power of the 10 tails is astonishing. The terrain is gradually changed, and the 9 llamas and Ashiki are like children in front of him. But fortunately, the ninja coalition arrived, but it didn't help. He was beaten to death, and countless people died, including the 12 little strong Niji. Afterwards, Sasuke came with the 4 ancestors of Hokage and began the final battle. Obito was forced to devour the 10 tails and became a Jinchuriki. After a fight, Obito was completely convinced by Naruto's rhetoric. After working hard for more than 10 years, it was ruined by Naruto. But no one was prepared for Black Zetsu. Madara was successfully resurrected. After resurrection, Madara was far inferior to Obito. 9 llamas were forcibly separated from Naruto's body, and Sasuke was left heartbroken. When Naruto was dying, a person appeared in his inner world. The Sage of 6 Paths. Entrusted the power of Yang to him and the power of Yin to Sasuke, in order to resist Otsutsuki Kagaya. After they were resurrected, the 6 Paths Naruto and the 6 Magatama Rinnegan Sasuke suppressed Madara, but allowed Madara to escape and successfully obtain the remaining Rinnegan. Infinite Tsukuyomi is also a complete success at this moment. The whole world, everyone is trapped in illusion. World of Naruto, Uchiha Obito, oh my god, I was convinced like this, and Black Zetsu actually plotted against me. Nagato, it turns out that my eyes are Madara. Pure Land World. Ha 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 ha, I succeeded. Uchiha Madara, one of the 4 laughing heroes, laughed heartily. Death World. Aizen looked at this powerful illusion and was extremely shocked. It was similar to his Kyuka Suigetsu, but this infinite Tsukuyomi actually pulled people all over the world into the illusion in an instant. This was terrifying. I really want to go to this Naruto world. Then his plan will be more perfect. The world of Saint Seiya, Shaka's 6 paths of reincarnation is similar to it, but the scope is far incomparable. The world of the son of the slippery ghost, Rikyo Nura, it's really scary for demons. My Genjutsu is like a younger brother compared to infinite Tsukuyomi. Other worlds are shocked and infinite Tsukuyomi, but people in the Naruto world are just horrified. They don't know what to do at all. Now they can only pray that Naruto and Sasuke can defeat Madara. Lu Dao Madara landed on the ground, intending to kill the remaining people, but before he could take action, Heiju gave him a gut-wrenching blow. Heiju said arrogantly, Madara, you are just indulging in the situation I created. You are just a prop for me to resurrect my mother. The 6 spots were gradually swallowed up, and the next moment, a beautiful woman appeared in front of everyone. Kagaya Otsutsuki is successfully resurrected. Facing this terrifying enemy that surpassed 6 paths, Madara, Naruto, and Sasuke didn't hold back at all, but either side was suppressed and there was no way they could do it. At this time, Naruto seemed to have thought of something and whispered to Sasuke. However, Sasuke broke into a cold sweat after hearing this and looked at him with suspicion. Okay, then I'm also going to do some tricks. Naruto quickly transformed into several clones, rushed in front of Kagaya, and formed seals with his hands. Kagaya did not underestimate the enemy. Her eyes opened, but the next second, she was dumbfounded. The art of reverse harem. A group of extremely handsome and meticulous men appeared in front of Kagaya. Super God World. Shameless, you are right, Xiangwei. Gu Xiaoluan looked at these handsome guys and felt extremely jealous. However, Xiangwei returned to the room through the wormhole, her face flushed. The world of Demon High School, Rias, Aquino and others were even blushing. This power was terrifying. Brother Chang's scalp was numb when he saw this scene, and a green feeling came to his heart. Girls from all over the world were attracted from childhood to old age, shouting that it is not serious. Can you show more? After all, it is free to watch. A group of men are even more. That's a big cry. Fuck you. Naruto can be a man or a woman. He is a role model for our generation. Kagaya showed her flaws under this attack, but with her super high amount of chakra, she instantly transformed into a space and escaped the seal. The ensuing battle became extremely dangerous, and Obito also turned to ashes under the ashes of the common murderer. Naruto struck with anger and cut off Kagaya's left hand. Finally, with the cooperation of several people, Kagaya was successfully sealed. Several people have also returned to the world of Naruto. Thanks for Time's monthly tickets and rewards, and Ankar's monthly tickets. In other words, the content may be a bit long-winded. After all, how can the savior have an ending if there is no process? It's not like just setting off the fighting scene at the beginning. The savior has been taken stock, so I can write it more easily. After all, it is only 1 or 2 episodes. Except for the first fairy tale, I have basically forgotten the plot. In fact, I just forgot to write it. Doge.jpg, reading books on May Day is a great pleasure. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd.